Welcome back, everybody. Hi, how are you? How are you doing, Jess?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I am enjoying my quiet home. We didn't really touch on that. I know my house goes through a transition every August
Sure.
when the kids go back to school. So, um, yeah, I haven't spent a whole lot of time here by myself, and I'm waiting for the day that I can have a whole day to clean. Do you go through? I know you do. You and I have those moments where everything has
hmm
to be like purged and or
hmm Yeah, I usually do a spring clean and a fall clean
yeah, because
where it's
it's
like just a deep
mhm.
clean,
Well, there's just
throwing things away,
yeah. I was
donating
just gonna say,
things.
I was like, you just end up with so much stuff, and
It's
it's
amazing how much you can accumulate in 6 months.
yeah. Well, I just remember when we moved into this house, it's significantly bigger than our first home, and I remember thinking like there's no reason for us to ever fill this house, and
Yeah.
it's full. So yeah, whatever. But so I think we want to kind of chit chat today about. I'm going to share a little bit of my summer about just the. I think we're gonna start on the positive stuff
Yeah.
because we are
You had
trying
some
to.
really great things happen over the summer. So let's,
Yes, yes. And the biggest one was obviously my oldest child got married, which is a weird. Um, it's a weird experience as a parent. You have moments like when she got engaged, it was just like, well, yeah, that was expected. And now to say things like
my son in law.
my son-in-law or her husband, because I talk
hmm
about my life and my kids all day long, and I'm just like, oh yeah, my daughter's husband. It's like, bleh, which not him and personally, just it's a weird thing to say. You're once you hit that level of like, oh, we're married, and not that everyone has to get married, obviously, and they have their different things, but oh, they're married. It's like, oh, they're really adulty
Yeah. I mean, because your daughter's been launched
for a
for a
long time.
while and has
Yeah.
been independent and like adulting
Yep.
for a while. But it
Yep.
does
9 years,
seem
I
like
think. Yeah.
it's like another level of depth. Like,
Yes.
oh,
Yes. Well, she said to me the other day he is having some car troubles, and she just said, she's like, ugh. She's like, this is definitely a downside to being married because now this is my problem too.
mm,
And it's like, yeah, it is. I mean, because that's how that works. But so no, I mean, I think just to kind of give the fun facts, she got married in Colorado at the Red Rocks. And for somebody, if you're looking for a small, quaint, beautiful setting venue, it was lovely. She had a total of 20, ended up being 24 people who were there. It was all either bridal party or family.
hmm
And um so it was really small. It was lovely. The wedding itself was gorgeous. The trip was fun. But
the
just
weather cooperated. I mean, it didn't
it
pour
didn't
rain or
rain. Yeah,
anything.
like it was an outdoor wedding. It was hot, but we the emotions of that was the other part I was not expecting. Is I mean everyone gets emotional, right? I get emotional at weddings. Have you heard of this effervescent, what is it called? Effervescent energy. Like when you're somewhere and like the national anthem is playing, like I get choked up.
Oh,
Or like Amazing Grace, or
like a
like it's
contagious
like
energy sort of
yeah, yeah.
that like happens in a crowd.
Right. So but holy buckets, I was a mess. Like I mean I held my shit together, but I definitely cried through the whole thing. And of course, in my opinion, she's the most beautiful bride that has ever been and will ever be. The wedding was beautiful. It was very small. It was very short. And then they hosted a very lovely dinner at a wine bar in Denver
hmm
after that later that day. And again, it was very quaint because that was 22 people. Um, which was kind of funny because she was off on her numbers at the table and she couldn't figure out why. She had completely forgot to include her and her now husband
Sure.
It's part of the guest list,
Well,
which makes
because,
sense, right? I mean, you're not thinking of that when you're thinking of
right.
hosting, you're thinking about the
You,
other people. So, um, we made it like a vacation. That was our littler one's summer vacation as well. And we went out 3 days before and stayed a day or two after. So the following day we went to their VRBO and made dinner. I mean, our son-in-law basically made us dinner, which was lovely, and it was just nice to spend that time. And then to kind of finalize the wedding stuff, she had a reception here locally. And that was more for the friends and the extended
hmm
family. After it was all said and done, you can kind of reflect a little bit. Uh, my husband and I had just kind of like talking about, oh, you talk to this person, you talk to that person. And he said, I really, really want to get back into hosting things. We used to host all the time. And and I was like, oh, I said, I mean, it's like fun to have those get togethers. And he said, no, he goes, we have really amazing friends.
Hmm.
We have friends that you just don't, not everyone gets. And they all
Yeah.
show up to support us, to support our kids. We're really lucky in that way. And it was lovely. I mean, like all the people, like when you get to have those events where
hmm
your core people are there, all of them at the same time. First off, it's a little overwhelming because I feel like as the host,
Well,
you
you're
kind of
always
have
like, oh,
to,
I wish I had more time with so and so.
yes, and
Yeah.
you have to talk to everybody and kind of get like there were so many pictures that were taken that I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, like I barely got to talk to them or I this that or the
hmm
other. And it just it was really special to see all those people together. And kind of to go back what I was saying earlier is one of those people had said like she was like, oh my gosh, she's like legitimately old, she's gonna be 28 in a couple months. And I was like, I mean, yeah, kind of like it's kind of crazy. And I'm so lucky that all of my friends are so invested in, not obviously in me, in my life, and all of my kids, but with her especially,
Mm.
because we all grew up together.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yep.
definitely a different experience. And so she's, just has, I think, maybe more cheerleaders on her side a little bit than the average. But it was, yeah, that was really cool. It was fun to see.
Beautiful
And
venue.
oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Again,
Beautiful.
didn't hold a lot of people. They're not people. They didn't want tons of people there. Yeah, it was a really unique venue. It was downtown. It was very, what would you, not vintage,
I don't know that
old,
I'd say, yeah. I
like
mean, if
late
historical, I mean, I think it's
historical. There you go.
it's it's a
Yeah.
historical building with,
Yeah.
um, s-
Beautiful pieces.
right, original
Taken, I think there were pieces of the building taken when they built that venue. They took like the
pieces of
stained
other
glass from,
historical
yes,
buildings
yes,
that,
from like a
yeah, that were
bank
being
that closed.
demolished or whatever.
Right, right, which is
Yeah.
always
So it
cool to
was,
be.
yeah, it was eclectic,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but also just very elegant.
Hmm. It was gorgeous. It all goes fast. I mean, and now that it's like said and done and over, it is nice. You don't have to think about spending any more money or planning any, thing or
hmm
making sure this is done or that is
Well, because a
done.
wedding isn't just a wedding, right?
Right. Right.
Like you
It's
have,
so
there's
not.
so much planning. You have bridal
Hmm.
showers, you have bachelor parties,
Hmm.
bachelorette parties. Um, then you have the rehearsal dinner, then you have the
Right.
wedding, then you have reception. I mean, there's so many things to plan for.
Hmm. I do think the go, going away to get married, it was lovely. It was just,
hmm
it just kept everything at a calm. And
And
I'll probably,
not that it was informal, because there were definitely formal aspects to it, but it
hmm,
was also casual.
yes, yes. Yeah. It wasn't that stuffy. It wasn't,
Right.
hmm, it was, yeah, it was, and it was very personable to them.
Yes.
Again, like the officiant, she wanted someone to to marry them that they knew. He didn't know
Mm-hmm.
her well. Yeah, so the groom didn't really know her as well, but got to know her. They kind of like worked together a little bit. Um, but her florist, she knew personally. She actually came from here to Colorado to do that. I mean, there were just lots of personal touches
Mm-hmm.
that made it nice. And I mean, I've been to some very lavish weddings. I've been to some very casual weddings, and then a lot in that middle range.
Right.
And I can't say this the reception was a little bit more of a to do than the wedding itself, but it was just kind of perfect. I don't know. I'm like, oh, man, if I'm
Well,
getting
I do
married
think it
again.
was a really, I do think the way that things went, and I was able to go to the reception, and I've seen lots of pictures
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. I do really think that it was a reflection
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
of them as a couple. And I love that because I think that weddings are supposed to be about the commitment that the two people are making to each other
Right.
rather than
The party.
who has the best favors and where the cake came from. And, I mean, those are all fine. But at
Right.
some point, it tips into we're doing this for our guests
Mm-hmm.
versus this is about us making a commitment.
Right. And I never understood that. I remember when I got married a bajillion years ago now, I was frustrated because we didn't have any money. And we didn't have any. My mom ended up paying for the food, but that was because I was threatening to not serve food. And she's like, "You can't have a wedding without food." And I'm like, and we went the traditional route because we didn't really know any different.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, "But that's not what this is about. I just want to be married to this man.
Mm-hmm.
That is what's important to me. I want to be married to this man, and because society and tradition says I have to invite these people and I have to feed them, and I didn't want to do any of that. So I
Mm-hmm.
respect her, just her choices
Well,
for
kind of like we
wanting.
mentioned in the last, like she just set
Yep,
a boundary.
right, right, and she stuck to it,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Mm-hmm.
And it was harder for me to stick to a little bit, I will say, but I also respect her and will respect her choices, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something that is good for me to learn and to have to actually put into practice.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that maybe then it will wear off on me how to find the same sort of boundaries when needed for myself. There are so many pictures. I told her, I was like, I think you're just going to have to wallpaper your house in wedding pictures. And I don't know if that's because obviously it was 2 different days. So that
Sure.
makes a difference. But if you put the hours together, it's really not much different than if you were to do like a traditional, like full day
Sure.
wedding. But I think it's because it was two separate photographers.
I mean, I think there were maybe a dozen pictures of from my wedding ceremony, right? Maybe a dozen.
Right.
Um, but like we were still doing film.
Which was interesting because at the wedding in Colorado, the photographer, we were saying something, and Jacob mentioned our wedding pictures. We actually have the actual film from it. And the
Mm-hmm.
photographer was like, "Oh, you're so lucky." So in a
Oh,
photographer's mind,
it's better to have
maybe
the
that,
film.
yeah, or maybe I don't
Interesting.
know. Mm-hmm. And maybe I mean, he was probably our age
Huh.
ish, maybe. So I wonder if that's
I
part of
just
it.
was thinking they probably take way more
Well, I think they do
photos now
too,
because
because they didn't
it's
have to
every
pay for the
picture
film.
isn't an expense.
Yes, this is true. Do you remember that? That was obnoxious.
Hmm.
But now I don't have any physical pictures.
Right, because you upload them or
Yeah,
to your device or whatever, and then
yeah,
they sit there.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we had a lovely wedding, and now life is a little calmer that it's over. And I think it was good for my marriage. I think it's always, we're pretty good about this, and maybe more people need to get married more often, is that we reflect
Mm,
on our relationship
sure.
during those events. And so weddings are, what do they always say? Like weddings and babies, kind of bring people together or bring that sort of joy or that difference
Mm-hmm.
in whatnot in life and how you look at things and process them. So, I mean, there was some mild drama at the wedding. I
Isn't
don't
there
want to,
always, though? I
there's,
mean, you just have to expect it.
yeah.
I mean, as many brides as I have seen in my therapy practice, I have yet to have one of them have a wedding that didn't have some drama.
Interesting.
There's always a family drama element, and there's
Mhm.
often a friend drama element.
Do you think that
And
has
of
to do with
course, the
jealousy?
bigger your wedding, the more
Sure.
intense or the more like spots of drama there are, right? I mean,
Hmm.
that's just,
Do you think that's like that is okay? So could that be that like so like sort of like group mentality as well? But in a way, it'd
mm,
almost be like narcissistic behavior. Like people have a hard time just accepting that they're not a part of an event or that it's not about them.
yeah. I mean, I think there is a theme about it's not about them, right? Like oftentimes parents seem to feel entitled to make the
Mm-hmm.
decisions about the
Mm-hmm.
wedding because we're paying for it, so we get a say. Um, so that's an aspect. And then, sometimes there's in-law drama, sometimes there's sibling drama. So and so thought she would be the maid of honor, but she's not. I mean, just all, and then all of a sudden we're bickering about what placemats.
Oh, sure.
And in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, again, this is where I feel like it distracts from like the actual purpose, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is this couple is committing to each other.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, who gives a shit what color the placemats are?
Really doesn't matter.
Right? I mean,
Doesn't matter at all.
literally people are going to drop food on them. Like who gives a
Mhm.
shit?
Right. Right. But people definitely get caught up in all of that. And that was the other thing is I will say minimalist would be a word that I would use to describe my daughter. Is she's just very not plain, but
No, she has good
simple.
attention to detail.
Yes. And she knows what she wants, but
Hmm.
she does not want over the top
Right.
or she also like doesn't want to draw attention.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think part of what worked so well for their wedding is that they're both kind of introverted.
Hmm.
And so the wedding and all of it was a reflection of them as a couple, but also I think that just made it more intimate, really,
I think so. Yeah.
and more connected.
Yeah. I mean, moving forward, wedding wise, if I mean, I would prefer to go to smaller,
Mm.
more intimate weddings than I've been to, gosh, one of the last ones I was to before that, it was a big wedding. There were a lot of people there. And it just felt very
I mean, you barely see the
showy.
bride and groom,
Yeah, it's
or bride and
showboaty.
bride, or groom and groom, how
Right,
whatever. But you
right,
barely see the couple that's committing to each other. The bigger the wedding
right,
is, because
right.
they have to make their rounds. Whereas, like, that's not
Yeah,
how it felt.
yeah. And I will say that the wedding was capped in between like work drama for me. It was a nice
Mm.
relief. And when we were on our way home from Colorado, I'm sure I told you this, we were in the car and I was driving because see, I have to drive when we're together because I have control issues. We've talked about this. And I cannot navigate with Google Maps.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's like
You
I
don't
don't know.
trust the map.
What?
You don't trust the map.
No. Well, because I don't trust the distance. So when they're like, you're going to be turning in 400 feet
400
or
feet.
whatever, I'm like, okay, but I don't know what that is. Can't you just tell me you're going to be turning at the next right turn? Like, I hate that. And so I'll be like looking at the map and I'll be like, I don't think it's that one. No, I don't, it's not that one. And you go by it and it's like, oh, it was that
It
one.
was that one.
So that irritates the shit out of my husband. That's fair. I get it. And he is a good driver. If he's driving, he like looks at things too long and it drives me. I'm like, no, no,
Mm.
no. Drives me crazy. I don't like that. So it's just better for me to drive. So I'm driving, we're leaving town, and all of a sudden I just start sobbing. Like just crying. He's like, you okay? You need me to drive? I'm like, no, I can't let you drive. But he was like, what's wrong? And I said, I didn't realize how much stress I was under at home.
Mm.
We came here. We were traveling as a family of four because our oldest is on her own with our dog. This includes we're doing adventures in the mountains, some mountain driving. We're spending tons of money just everywhere, right?
Sure.
Like food and entertainment and different things. We're doing touristy things, doing the wedding, all of that, and that stress it literally felt like an absolutely peaceful, serene space for my mind compared to home. That also made it a very special, I think, just because it was this like this little present put
Mm-hmm.
sandwiched between the shit show of reality, which the whole work thing, that's a long one. We'll get into that. I also might want to wait to get into that until I'm officially out of this space.
Which is 11 days from now.
11 days from now. Yep. And
So,
once I have that key handed in, I
I
will
mean, do
say
we want to wait until you've left the space or until you get a deposit back?
maybe that. Maybe that be a good idea probably. Even though I did ask I was I was at the salon the other day with my business partner and we were cleaning out, like we're going through things. We're trying to get rid
Sure.
of stuff, 14 years of shit and
Accumulation, right.
yeah. And so and we see these girls and they have hair girls written all over them. I could be wrong, but most of the time I'm pretty spot on with that. And we see them like walking by our space and like going down the walkway and like looking at the space next door and not physically going in, like looking around the building and stuff like that. And so I was like, oh no, like everyone can make their own choices and that space might be great for somebody else. But I did happen to ask somebody who knows more about the law than I do, and I was told that the truth cannot be considered
Defamation, right.
defamation. And so I was like, good to know. But because I asked her, I was like, what if these people asked me? I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
approach them. And,
Oh, see,
everyone
and that's, I would have, I think.
really,
I would,
well,
and I wouldn't have necessarily given details. I just would have said,
I
hey, I
felt
just want to let you know I haven't had a great experience here. So you may want to really think through your options.
I felt out the situation because they were out walking and they had stopped like almost right outside our door, but just a little bit past. And so like perfect time to take out trash, right? They probably don't want to come in here, but if I walk out and
Right.
they want to say something,
Oh, sure.
I will gladly have that conversation with them. But the last thing I wanted to have them do is say, well, this girl walked up to me, while I was looking and said, da 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 da. And the second I walked out the door, they kept their backs towards me
Mm,
and then walked away. So, whatever.
fair enough.
Yeah, but that's that. So,
Some of that could be an age thing too,
yeah,
an age and experience, right? Because if the situation were reversed and you were checking out the space and someone
I'd be
came
curious
out,
to know.
you would say, "Hey, can I ask you a question?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
Like, what do you
what's
think
your
about this?
experience been like in this space?
Right. Yeah. Which actually, moving forward, I should think about that more and not be afraid to go into a space
Yeah,
and ask. I don't know. I guess Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that was married. She's married. She's done and married.
Something about it makes it feel like she is 100% fully launched.
Yeah.
Like the marriage and the
Well,
home ownership. There's just
it
something about that that just feels more solid.
and I think when we got to that place in our life, I don't know if I felt that way.
No, I mean, I still wonder why anyone ever gave me a mortgage sometimes. So,
I thought that the other day that in our 20s we should be given so much responsibility. I
financial,
mean, we
yeah.
acquired it. We sought it
So
out,
we
but
did,
yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Um but it is she's in it like
Mm-hmm.
fully.
Yep.
She still gets carded though for
Oh,
alcohol.
honey, I got carded like 3 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like legitimately carded?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been carded in a long time. There's times that I've gone places and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have my ID. Doesn't matter.
And then you're like, I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
No, I was legitimately carded.
Nice.
Hmm. I can't remember where
Yeah,
it was or what
but
the
yeah, I mean,
context
she's
was.
gone through the whole process of like changing her name, so that's weird.
You
That's
know what?
weird.
I haven't changed her name on my phone,
I haven't either, and
like her contact. Yeah.
I told her that it was going to be a minute.
Yeah.
Um, just because it's not a dig. It's just weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, I will say they were like
Well, I
much
mean,
more.
part of it is about how you meet someone, right? For instance, you have two friends that are Jessica, and
Mm-hmm.
we both had maiden names, and we both
Mm-hmm.
have married names, although I'm not
Mm-hmm.
married, but I
Right.
kept my married name.
Right.
And your sister
Mm-hmm.
still refers to us by our maiden names.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
she said that. I mean, when we were at the bridal shower, she was like, "You're always going to be Jessica
Oh.
maiden name, and you're going to be Jessica maiden name." And that it's just that's how it's always going to be in my head.
There's just like when I'm having conversations here, uh, so like the other Jessica, when I'm talking to my
Hmm.
kids about that Jessica, I have to use her married name because they're like,
Sure,
well,
because
what
that's how
Jessica?
they know her.
If I'm talking to Jacob about it, I have to use, well, I don't have to, but a lot of the times I will use her maiden name first because, and then I
Hmm.
try to correct myself because they've been married for a long time. Um, and I will say with you, with Jacob, I think I go back and forth.
Okay. Well, maybe because
I
that's what you learned first. Yeah. I mean, I think there's just something about a person's name when you meet them is what sticks with you, right?
asked me just the other day. Oh, it was Jacob's friend. Um, and he was at the wedding and he or reception and he said something like, do you want to go by Rebecca? Call me whatever you want.
Hmm.
I just got to a point in my life where I
You will
didn't like
also answer to
introducing.
bitch.
Probably. Oh, I
I'm
have a funny
just
story.
kidding.
I have a funny story to tell you. But I just got to a point in my life where I didn't like introducing myself as Becky.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. But be answering to things. This is funny, and we can cut this out, or we can leave it in because you know what? It's unfiltered and unashamed, and it is what it is. So last night, middle child is freshman in high school, and like trying to get him to bed is just a struggle.
Hmm.
And so I was super tired last night. I fell asleep putting the youngest to bed. Jacob got up and he had told him like, "Hey, you got 20 minutes." Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, then I woke up and came out, and he was still like it was past bedtime, and he was still on his computer. And of course, I chewed on him or whatever. It was like, "All right, you lose an hour tomorrow." And I went back, and Jake, we were in the bedroom, and I was like, "Has he left his room yet?" And he was like, "I don't think so." And as I was getting up, I go, God, why does he make me have to be such a whore? And I was like, I mean, bitch, like, bitch, why does he need Jacob? Hey, Jacob was just like, that's weird. I was like, oh, so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll answer to whore. I just was like, what? where did that come from? It's not a word we use often. So
No.
no,
I mean
no. I would use
no, I can't remember the last time I used that word. Now, bitch, I use a lot.
yeah, for sure. That one just rolls off the tongue. But yeah,
Hmm.
I was like,
But I mean, I use it as like endearment more than anything
oh,
else. Yeah.
it covers all the boxes. That's speaking of having one launched and completely gone, and then still having to pull out the bitchy mom card, and
Yeah.
I we're taking on just a lot of new things this school year, and my
It's a
calendar is already
transition
just
for
getting
everybody.
it's just getting it's getting overwhelming, to be honest. I'm like, I'm not ready to have but 9 more months of having to know exactly what's happening on each day. I mean, I
Hmm.
do anyways, but for myself.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, is when you don't need to know it for someone else, and you do the same thing, like, oh, he
Hmm.
got his wisdom teeth out, and just like having to have
Sure.
these things that you have to have that mindset for. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just different.
yeah, it is.
Hmm.
We just went off on a tangent, which we often do, but yeah, I mean, I think that just kind of summarizes like the fun parts of my summer. We did lots of pool time. Well, not lots. We did as much pool time as we could,
Yeah.
going to different pools, and um, like we camped once. That was it. Another
Yeah.
topic for another day, but we're moving just forward with the work changes, and
Yeah. Which we'll get into when it's wrapped up.
so yeah, that just kind of summarizes that fun space for me. And
Stay tuned. And next time we'll talk about what it looks like when you don't get married.
yes, it looks good both ways.
It can. It certainly
Yeah, it can.
can.
It can. With that little teaser, we will just,
Leave it at that.
yeah, and ask you to follow us on Instagram, Unfiltered and Unashamed. Ask you to send us any questions, comments, topics that you would like us to cover at unfilteredunashamed at Gmail.
Yep.
You can find us on
Like and
Spotify and YouTube.
subscribe.
What? Oh, yeah, like and
Like
subscribe
and subscribe.
on YouTube and Spotify. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Bye.